High School here for tonight's UPSL. High School here for tonight's UPSL matchup between FC Arizona and Phoenix Rising, and we're excited to bring it for you right here on the FC Arizona YouTube channel. To welcome you inside the press box alongside Patrick Holleran, I'm Ari Wall. Jack Bartlett will join us sideline in just a few moments. Well, Patrick, FC Arizona 6-1-1 on the season. They played Phoenix Rising earlier this year, and they won that game 7-1. What's it going to take for FC Arizona to come away with the win tonight?
Yeah, I think they just really need to start off with a good, clean game, no mistakes. And also Marco Alfonso, their star player, needs to be aggressive from the start, really set the tone. I think if they can do that, they can get this win.
Yeah, you mentioned Marco Alfonso, one of the top strikers in this division, so should be a good matchup between these two teams as FC Arizona continues to try to make that playoff push, and we'll have the call for you right here on the FC Arizona YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the game for you in just a few moments.
It's a big test for Phoenix Rising. They lost earlier this season to FC Arizona 7-1, a team that is led by Marco Alfonso, who has 10 goals on the season. That's more than Phoenix Rising has combined, just 6 goals through their first 7 games, 0-7 on the year, and they're trying to turn it around tonight with their first win of the season against a team, as I already mentioned, that beat them 7-1 earlier in the year. I'll send it back to you guys, but for now, this is Jack Bartlett.
Welcome to Campo Verde High School here for tonight's UPSL matchup between FC Arizona and Phoenix Rising. FC Arizona enters this one a pretty good season so far, 6-1-1, and they beat Phoenix Rising, as we mentioned earlier. 7-1 was the final earlier this season. The Rising still looking for their first win of the season. They find themselves down 0-7 in this 2023 campaign. I'm Ari Wall. Alongside me is Patrick Holleran. Jack Bartlett is down on the field. So we're just moments away from kickoff in this game. Well, for FC Arizona, you mentioned earlier, Marco Afonso, one of the top players on this team. He's certainly someone that we'll watch out for in that strike force of FC Arizona. He's put up a lot of goals in this game so far. The season so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been their biggest difference maker. In addition to him, I think it's just going to be other guys having to step up too. It can't just be a one-man show. So I think that's ultimately going to be kind of what happens with it. He's got to lead the way, but they have to have other guys step up if they really want to have a good chance of making this a competitive game.
So Afonso stands at the center of the field right now as we get ready to kick this one away and start tonight's matchup. Earlier today, FC Arizona played against Coronado in a Division I matchup as we're underway here in this UPSL matchup here tonight. As the first seconds tick off the clock, FC Arizona starts this one forward. They'll work left to right across the field as they wear their home jerseys. The Rising in their road red jerseys with the white numbers. They're working right to left as FC Arizona starts it on back to their starting goaltender for tonight's matchup. As we mentioned earlier, today at 4:30, or at 4 o'clock, I should say, FC Arizona and Coronado, they tied at 2 in the Division I matchup. It's a hard-fought battle. Hoping for more of the same tonight when FC Arizona and Phoenix Rising go head-to-head. First pass comes in here just outside the box for Figueroa. Figueroa with it on the left foot. Shot is blocked and trickles in on net. Easy first save of the game.
Yeah, that was a good play by them, already establishing the defense pretty early on.
Ramirez started it forward for the Rising. He's got the ball on his foot right now. Turnover. FC Arizona outside the box trying to work one in. I'll settle it down, and now the Rising with an opportunity to work it back the other way. Pass across to the near side. Dribbling with it. Now turning that one over.
Yeah, early on a lot of turnovers for Arizona. They're definitely going to have to clean that up a little bit.
We mentioned FC Arizona. They've had a very good season so far. 6-1-1. Playoffs not too far away. They only have one more game remaining on the schedule in this 2023 season, regular season. And a win tonight would put them in a pretty good spot to potentially make the playoffs if they can win that final game of the season as well. This ball comes out of play. We've just under 2 minutes to go in just under 2 minutes into this game. Still just getting underway here on this Sunday evening. The sun was out earlier. We got a nice sunset outside of Campo Verde High School, but now that's long gone as it's dark. And the rest of the game will be played under these bright lights here at this Campo Verde High School field. Ball out of play once again. It'll be a throw-in coming here for the Rising.
Yeah, we've kind of seen early on both teams really defensively. It's been a lot of good stops by them, especially a lot of turnovers. I did think it would be a little bit of an offensive game starting off, but we've kind of seen the opposite.
Goaltending matchup, I believe, in this one features a battle of number ones in net for both teams. Christopher Thomas is the starting goaltender for FC Arizona. He's wearing the pink kit. And then on the other side of things, Tristan Shaw gets the start for the Rising. He's in the yellow kit, dribbling back and retreating to pick up that ball right on the edge of his box. He'll throw one along, back to the near side for Fisher. Plays it on ahead. Rising with some space down the near side, but that pass goes out of play. Throw in coming.
And that's what I got to keep going forward with it. That type of passing is going to be able to help them establish their offense and get guys more open for shots.
Martinez with the throw in. Gets it back. Another loose ball finds its way off the field. Short throw in this time. And again, ball dribbles off.
Yeah, I've already seen it. Number 22, Luke Burns, definitely a couple of good back-to-back plays. Really been able to cause some issues so far for FC Arizona.
And FC Arizona, if you look at this, the goal differential, the goals scored so far this season, they've been one of the top teams in this Arizona division. As obviously the record shows, 6-1-1. They have played very well. The one loss, I believe, was here at Campo Verde High School. So they are winless on the road, but tonight they'll try to come away with a win here at home. Long pass ahead, finds the foot of Fisher. Comes free now. The offensive third for the Rising. Cross comes in and well defended by FC Arizona. Nobody there. And they'll look to start up a counterattack the other way. Working on that far side now. Back into the midfield. Pass across in this near side part of the field. Martinez with it. Works it back. And turned over. Rising the other way with some speed.
Man, that all started with Fisher. He's already establishing a good defensive front on that end for Phoenix Rising there.
Rising so far have been able to keep the ball on their attacking side of the field for the most part. As both teams still trying to feel each other out. We mentioned the time these teams met early in the season. I believe it was the first game for at least FC Arizona. Might have been the same for the Rising. 7-1 was the final. Dominating victory for FC Arizona. Will we see the same tonight, or perhaps a closer contest from the Rising?
Well, and I think already you're seeing, even though the last game was a bit of a blowout before, it's already a lot more closer, and I think both teams, to your point, are trying to feel it out and really get things going. So I think whichever one can kind of establish a tone early on will be the key, will be the one who really comes out of this.
Long pass all the way around. The Rising will slow things down and look to pick up a lane here. Start up an attack from their side of the pitch. Shaw hands it off to his defenders. As the Rising continue to work it in their own side of the field. FC Arizona starting to put some pressure on. Now they'll switch up the direction, cross it back to the near side. Through midfield and a long pass ahead. Nobody there for the Rising, well defended by FC Arizona. Ball goes off and throw in coming.
Yeah, that was a great save by Burns right there to make sure to stop any FC Arizona run from even starting from there.
Throw comes in. Just looking for Gallegos. He lost the handle on it. Rising with it once again at midfield. So they'll work it back in their own side defensively once more.
Yeah, and you're seeing early on, really, FC Arizona is spacing them out a lot and not really allowing them to move too much outside of just three central passers. So it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of create some more opportunities for themselves.
And we saw, so the first time FC Arizona sort of laid back on the pressure for the most part, is here's quickly a chance for the Rising the other way. Work it down on the near side. Ball comes in. Knocked away by FC Arizona, but still the Rising with it. And now a turnover, nobody there. The Rising had some space in their own side defensively. FC Arizona was content to be a little bit patient. The last sequence, they started the press up a little bit, forcing a bit of an error by the goaltender Shaw to just boot that one way out to his left. So we'll see how the Rising handle the FC Arizona pressure that we might see, accelerate in this game.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, you even saw in that last play, Luke Burns was really pushing it up the field, which I think was huge because, I mean, they didn't see him coming. And if they hadn't gotten that turnover, it might have led to a goal. So I think early on we've already seen him kind of be a problem for FC Arizona. So it's going to be, how do they slow him down?
Salama gives it away. It'll go all the way back for Thomas, who boots it out with his left. Right at midfield on the far side. Now they work it in. Pass comes across for Afonso. Mentioned Marco Afonso earlier in the game. 10 goals on the season. He is certainly one to watch in this FC Arizona strike force.
Yeah, he's definitely someone that they have to keep an eye on. At any given time, it just seems like he can boot it and just get it in the goal.
Some contact there on FC Arizona's part as here come the Rising with some speed the other way. Tackled right outside the box. No whistle and a good challenge for FC Arizona. They win the ball back.
That was a good save by FC Arizona. And right there in the corner of the field right there to keep it in play.
Rising continue the attack. Here's a ball in and a save made. First time that Thomas has been tested, and he comes up with a nice save. Ball goes out of play. Rising will get a throw in.
That was a tough play by Thomas to make right there. I mean, he literally flat out extended his leg out and was falling while doing it, so they're going to need plays like that if they want to keep it a close game.
Zion Vaughn, who had the opportunity, shot the ball right to the left foot, it looked like, of Thomas, who was able to get it out of harm's way. Keep this game scoreless here early on. Battle for possession here on the defensive half for FC Arizona. The Rising win it, but they'll work it on back.
Now, and early on, you're kind of seeing both teams offensively. They've been able to get some momentum going, but they're not taking too many shots downfield, and I think it's more so it's early. They want to fill it out. They don't want to get gassed yet, so definitely going to be something to watch. If it keeps both offenses keep stalling, does one maybe feel that they got to take a shot at one point?
And so far, the Rising have not really been able to penetrate this FC Arizona midfield. It's taken them about a minute or so each time they want to reset things. They send it back on their own side, and then FC Arizona sort of locks down all of those passing lanes in the midfield, forces the Rising to try to find a meticulous way of working it in. So here's a long cross comes in. FC Arizona gets their head to it and clears it all the way back.
I do think part of it, though, is they're just overthinking it a little bit. They just kind of got to settle down and just keep things simple. And I think that's why you're seeing them kind of get more spread out and not really be able to get anything going past midfield too often.
Still just about 11 minutes into this game. No score early on. Not a lot of offensive opportunities for either team to this point. One big one, Zion Vaughn's, was saved by Christopher Thomas, the goaltender for FC Arizona. It's been most of the action so far in this early going. Ball turned over. The Rising try to battle for possession. FC Arizona comes away with it. Back on their attacking side of the field now with some open room back through the midfield. Now on the attacking side. Long shot comes in. Goes well high and wide of the net. Goal kick will be coming.
That's a good shot for number 15 right there. He saw space and he took his shot. Even though it didn't go in, I mean, that's what they got to keep doing if they want to keep applying this pressure.
Cade Williams was the one with the shot, and while we've got a little pause in play for a moment, we're going to send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Jack Bartlett, who's standing right behind the Phoenix Rising bench. Jack, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. One thing that Phoenix Rising is trying to focus on here in the first half is possession. Their coach keeps bringing it up time and time again when they have the ball offensively, finding the right passes, finding the right guys. The other thing is to work together as a team defensively. Those are the two keys for Phoenix Rising in this game to try and erase a 7-1 loss a few weeks ago and try and find themselves in the win column this season. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Jack. Well, in terms of the possession side of things, they've held possession for a lot of this game so far. So that's at least one positive that you could say is going the way of the Rising. They haven't been able to score yet. Yeah, certainly trying to clear the memory of the 7-1 loss. A win today would clear that memory, but also give the Rising their first victory of the season.
Yeah, and I think that's key for team morale and just going into the rest of the season. Any type of win you can pick up, it's going to lift guys up and keep guys motivated. So, you know, every game matters.
Throw in coming for FC Arizona on the far side. Right through midfield and popped up. Looking for possession. The Rising come away with it with some open room to their left. They'll use that and then turn back with it. FC Arizona applies some pressure, forces the Rising back, all the way back to Shaw, who plays it along to his left. Finds an open man.
And you saw in that last play there, they doubled number 8, Gene Guandano. They're right there forcing him to give it back.
Rising with some speed right on the edge of the box. Fanning on the shot there outside the box and couldn't get anything away. Missed opportunity there perhaps for the Rising.
Yeah, but that was a good save there by number 4. Jeez. Chris Grote right there keeping this drive alive.
Ball comes free for the Rising. Now on the far side, a chance to cross it in. Working in, now edge of the box. Into the box, 1 and 2. Chance for a Rising and a huge save made. What a save that was by Thomas. 2 grade A chances. He's come away with a save in both of them to keep this game tied.
That's just great instincts by Thomas right there. Being in the right place in the right time and knowing exactly what to do.
Still not out of it yet. Rising with it in the box. Try to center one. Instead, the FC Arizona will get a clear out of it all the way down to the far side. Ball goes out of play. The FC Arizona will get a throw-in out of it. Throw-in comes in, trying to catch the Rising perhaps on their back foot, looking for Afonso. Could not get it to him in time. So once again, the Rising will slow things down and try to start up an attack.
You do have to wonder at some point, do they feel like they're being a little bit complacent with the offense? Just, I mean, they've had some good passing wins open. They just really haven't been able to establish anything.
Still a lot of soccer to be played in this game. So far, the Rising seem to have held the ball for more of this game, held possession for most of this game.
Great play by number 12 there. Here. Brandon Fisher. It looks like we have someone down now.
Player down for the Rising as they look to have a free kick coming.
Yeah, looks like that's Luke Burns right there. He's definitely in a little bit of pain.
So they'll call for some medical assistance.
Yeah, you hate to see it. You really hope he's okay, but I mean, no, that does not look good.
We saw, unfortunately, in the earlier game today, quite a few players went down with injuries. 2 had to be taken away on a cart. Hopefully everybody in the prior game is all right, but similar situation seems to have started here in this secondary game, and so while he gets tended to on the field, we're going to step aside for a brief moment, and then we'll come back once play resumes. So able to walk over gingerly to the sideline. No cart necessary. Good sign for the Rising.
Yeah, he's able to walk over to the bench under his own power, so hope he's okay and can definitely get back in the game. I mean, he's been all over the place for them lately, so they're going to need him.
In terms of game action, free kick will be coming here for for the Rising. Ways away from the box, but still an opportunity. The Rising will start with some players off to the right. See how they play this. This is the first real set piece we've seen in this game so far. Ball comes in, headed away by FC Arizona, goes out of play. Last touched, I believe, by FC Arizona, so we'll see a corner kick coming in that far side corner for the Rising.
And early on, we've seen it. FC Arizona, their defense has been really good. I mean, they just, especially their goalie, I mean, Thomas, he just has not allowed anything to go through. So, you know, we talked about Alfonso being a difference maker, but maybe it's Thomas instead. I mean, he's been the one really keeping it for many goals from happening early on.
And Luke Burns is back on the field as well, standing at around the 14-yard line in terms of football markings.
He looks like he's good to go. I mean, definitely going to be something to monitor throughout the game, though, seeing how he is.
Nothing doing on the corner kick for the Rising. Marco Afonso is the first one to it for FC Arizona. Goes off the Rising player and out of play. Still under 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes into this game, I should say. Turnover off the throw-in. Rising had it for a moment. FC Arizona wins it back. Now trying to get through on that far side. They'll lose possession, and the Rising will get a throw-in.
And you're seeing that. I think that's when the Rising, with their defense specifically, they've been able to establish some good things where they can just be able to create a little bit of cluster over there and get some turnovers. So if they can keep doing that, eventually it's going to lead to goals for their defense turning into offense. It's just a matter of if they can get that established.
Ball skied in the air and in a dangerous position, but the Rising get their head to it to clear that ball away. This one's sent back, played by Shaw. Starting goalie for the Rising, Shaw, has not had to do much in this game so far.
No, and defensively, I think that's been one of the biggest things. I mean, they've been able to keep it from really FC Arizona really getting anything going. So I think as long as they can keep that going, they'll eventually be able to get some points on the board. But you do have to wonder, though, if that defense starts to get a little sluggish.
So for FC Arizona, not a lot of possession time in this game. As you mentioned, they really haven't been able to generate much of an attack. Is that something that they need to find a way to start defensively? Where can that offense start to come from, perhaps, the rest of this half?
I would say so for it. I mean, I think with FC Arizona, you know, you've really seen it. They just really haven't been able to get much good passing going, which I think is part of it as well. I mean, you look at it with their offense, you know, they just really haven't had a lot of opportunities down there. So I think that's going to be key. And then here's Thomas right now, keeping it in play.
Thomas able to work that one along to his midfielders. Bit of a miscommunication on the pass, it looked like, when they tried to send it back to Thomas. This ball does go off the pitch. It looked like for a moment they were going to say it stayed on, but it does go off.
And that was a great save by Burns right there, keeping this possession alive.
So FC Arizona will start with a free kick on their own side of the field. Pardon me, a throw-in. Into the midfield it goes. Header for possession goes back to the way of FC Arizona. Marco Afonso with it. Marco Afonso on his left foot, pass out to the wide. Out wide with it, trying to work it when Figueroa gets it up top.
And right there, it's when you saw it. That's what they got to keep trying to do. Afonso's drawing in all the attention, get other guys open to set up a shot. Even if you're not making plays directly, just using him kind of as a decoy, I think that's a way that they can generate some more offense.
They were looking for Afonso on a pass earlier. Luis Martinez gets it and gives it back out to the left. Arizona tries to penetrate on that left side now. Good dribbling, gets it out to the corner. Martinez all the way in on that far side, still battling with it. Martinez drops it back. Stays in, comes back for Reyes. All the way out wide it goes, and finally off. Last touch by the Rising, so throw in here in a pretty dangerous spot coming for FC Arizona, potentially a chance to get one of their first shots on goal.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got to capitalize on chances like these. I mean, that's going to be the difference maker for them. They've been struggling to get their offense going. You have to take advantage of opportunities like these where you get it that close.
Martinez throws it in, edge of the box now. It's turning, and a shot is fired, but blocked, and so trickles on net. Gallegos had a decent connection, but FC Arizona got their body to it, stopped that chance. Rising with it now. Will start up once again from their own end.
Now on that play there, looks like number 9, Chris Grote, got stumbled a little bit right there when he's dribbling the ball.
And it comes for Londono. Londono plays it across out to his right. The Rising try to work through the midfield. Instead, they'll drop it on back for Grote, who plays a long ball ahead. Chance on this left wing. Pass comes in, cross, headed away. Dangerous opportunity for the Rising, but nothing comes of it.
Yeah,
Remains scoreless.
Even if it was the missed goal right there, I think that's what they got to keep continuing to do. Just put the pressure on and just try to get it like that. You know, you kind of saw him with the fast break right there. FC Arizona a little bit a step below, so or a step behind, excuse me. So if they can keep doing that, they're going to be able to get downfield. But we just haven't seen too much of that early on. You've seen good passing, just not a lot of aggressiveness and pushing the ball downfield.
Reyes, defender for FC Arizona, sort of limping over across by Thomas's left as he'll start to gingerly run up the field as this one's booted through the midfield and over to this right side of the field. Ball goes out of play though quickly. Rising will get a throw in.
You have to wonder if some fatigue's potentially getting set in, and maybe it's time to, or maybe it's a good time to call a timeout, just kind of go over some things and get recalibrated.
Rising with a throw in on the far side. Headed away. Headed up again. FC Arizona with it. Get a whistle and a free kick. This will go the way of FC Arizona.
It's a tough bump there by number 11. Just straight to the head right there. It's kind of a little gimpy getting back up.
So Marco Afonso will take the free kick from range on that left side. See if he tries to find the head of an FC Arizona attacker. Try to put this first goal on the board. Here comes the ball in, and it's off the head of the Rising defense. Popped up, and now the Rising with a counterattack opportunity the other way, but just unable to handle it was Zion Vaughn. Otherwise, would have been an opportunity in that other direction.
Yeah, and that's one of those opportunities they just have to take advantage of. I mean, Vaughn, that was an open field. If he hadn't stumbled with the ball right there, they had 2-on-1, they could have gotten it down there.
Ball comes all the way around to the far side. It stays on the field, right by that line. FC Arizona tries to penetrate the defense. They cannot do so. Throw in, taken quickly. Fight for it at the midfield. Now this one's played on across for Luis Martinez, who drops it back. Long pass comes into the far side. Some open room, and here's a shot and a save made. First real test for Tristan Shaw, and he comes up with his first save.
Great play there right from Sean, just diving down and getting that. That was a close one, though. I mean, Rising, again, this is why they got to get their offense going. I mean, they're going to start getting a little tired on defense. Next time that happens, that might not be a saved goal.
FC Arizona has not tested Shaw a lot in this game so far. A couple opportunities for both teams. For the most part, Christopher Thomas has been the main player in terms of FC Arizona, coming up with the 2 saves. Able to keep this game scoreless for FC Arizona, just trying to get that offense going as much as they can here as we approach the halfway point in this first half. Rising will again slow it down. FC Arizona backs off on the pressure for the time being.
It's interesting with it. We've seen them kind of press up and go closer man-to-man, so for them to give them more space, it's surprising for it. You wonder if the Rising will take advantage of that and that can play into their favor a bit more.
Again, they slow it down. Making some progress, though, past the midfield line. And again, they come into the attacking third. Knocked away, though. Chance for a counterattack for FC Arizona. They mark quickly on this near side. Give and go. Trying to get through there, but unable to do so was Garibaldi. Pass comes across for Fisher. Fisher looking to play one through.
You're seeing that a lot with them kind of working Fisher on the side, just kind of pacing it a little bit there. I mean, it's been able to lead to some success, but I mean, they just haven't been able to generate much outside of it.
Pass comes across. Now it's taken by Ramirez. Plays it out to his right. Jack Ramirez gets it back. One of the midfielders for this Rising team. FC Arizona with 3 players on that attacking half. Now a 4th joins the party to try to perhaps make the Rising a bit uncomfortable, force a turnover.
And you see right there when Grote had the ball, I mean, he had a lot of open space in front of him. I think the air point, that's what they're doing. They're just kind of clogging up the field, giving him a lot of space there, but just no one really to pass to.
Get a whistle on that pass attempt. Ball will be given into the hands of FC Arizona on a free kick.
It's one thing we've seen. I mean, it's mainly been a pretty clean game in terms of any flags being, or any cards, excuse me, being in play yet.
Ball comes in off the left foot of Reyes onto that far side. Battle for possession takes place. Rising come away with it. And a long pass comes in. Potential 4-on-3 the other way as this one is broken up. Good job by Reyes to get back and stop that play.
Yeah, definitely right there. I mean, that's where their defense kind of stepped up a bit and kind of clogged those passing lanes.
Pass comes across to this near side for Martinez, who gives it off. Garibaldi. Back it comes once again. Martinez. Salama plays it off to his left. Reyes. Ahead, touched up, trickles into the Rising defensive side of the pitch, but FC Arizona is able to maintain possession for the time being. Falling was Gallegos, and now long ball finds its way to the other side. Some speed for the Rising the other way. Chance on that far side coming for Vaughn.
Yeah,
that ball's knocked free out of play.
And that last play, Londano's got to be a little bit more careful. That might be called next time.
So throw in coming here for the Rising, as they'll take this one onto this near side. Still a chance to try to put that first goal of the game on the board. Both teams looking to break the scoreless tie as the FC Arizona is able to send it out. Still in that attacking third though for the Rising. Away it goes. Pass was intended to go across. Instead it hit the referee, and so while we've got a moment, let's send it down once again for Jack Bartlett, who is down on the field. Jack, take it away.
Questionable calls early in this game. It has head coach Andrew Chapman of Phoenix Rising a bit upset. It is still tied 0-0 in the early going, about 30 minutes into the first half. Nonetheless, a couple of calls that have gone in favor of FC Rising, opposed to Phoenix Rising, pardon. And the other thing to keep in mind is the aggression of Phoenix Rising. A lot more aggressive than the last time these two teams played, when Phoenix or Arizona defeated.
Thanks for that, Jack. About 32 minutes left. 32 minutes into this first half. Still scoreless in this game, as the Rising will try to work it back in the other way. Back they come on that far side. And once again, they'll slow it down all the way back into their own half.
This is where you're seeing again, they have a lot of open space. You got to take advantage of it.
Long pass comes in. Inside the box. Looking for an open lane to shoot. Turning. Now they'll reverse to the far side. And looked like a potential pass. Was not intended to go on net for Thomas, but it did. And so an opportunity goes to the waste for the Rising there.
Yeah, no, I mean, Thomas, I mean, he's just been all over the place tonight. I mean, they just really haven't been able to penetrate at all.
Rising again. Edge of the area, tried to work one in, but they couldn't. Turn it over. FC Arizona with it now.
Again, I think it's going to be a theme of the game with them. I mean, their offense just, they've had the opportunities. They just haven't been able to capitalize when they're near the goal.
Long pass comes onto this near side. Ball goes out of play, throw in coming. It's Williams who was last there. He takes the throw in. Gives it back. Pass sent through now. Fighting for it there was Figueroa. He lost possession. The Rising come away with it, and a slide tackle made by Reyes. He argues that it was legal. Referee does not deem so. Free kick coming for the Rising.
Yeah, no, and you look right there. I mean, he was a little bit slow to get up there. And it was Gene Wandano.
So the Rising once again will slow it down. Look for a way to break through this midfield. Knocked off the foot of Burns for a moment. The Rising get back to it before losing it. FC Arizona will take it out of their own side.
Starting to see him get a little bit chippy down here with it being so close.
And we saw a similar story, though two different teams. We saw it happen earlier today in the first game here played at Campo Verde High School. The Division I FC Arizona team in Coronado, a 2-2 tie that game ended up in, but it got chippy with some players going down with injury. We saw things start to get chippy. Here's a long shot coming from Alfonso, and it misses high of the bar on that left foot. A powerful strike, but could not find the net.
I know, but I mean, those types of shots with him, he's usually going to make those 9 out of 10 times, so they just got to take it. They got lucky on this one. I mean, next time he's got that open shot, that's probably going in.
And Marco Alfonso, we've mentioned him a couple times. One to watch for this FC Arizona side for sure. One of their top goal scorers.
And I mean, you got to give Phoenix Rising, give him a lot of credit for it. I mean, we've kind of mentioned him a couple times, but they've mostly kept him in check. He really hasn't had that many shots, but when he has, he's come close, though.
And we also talked about the first time these teams met as FC Arizona ups the pressure here with a lot of players on this attacking side of the field trying to force a turnover, which they nearly do. It looks like they will as the ball goes out of play. They'll get a throw-in out of it. To talk about that defense, especially on Alfonso, we mentioned the first time these teams met, it was 7-1. And so certainly it's not out of the realm of possibility. A lot of soccer left to be played. FC Arizona could put up 7 goals, but I think if you're the Rising, especially after how that first game turned out, you're happy that it's 0-0 at this point in the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're definitely gotten fortunate to be in this position with it. And you have to think from the last game, you know, they looked at tape and just kind of said, what do we need to work on? I mean, clearly, whatever they decided to change has definitely worked. I mean, it's still scoreless. And I mean, even though we've mentioned Alfonso, he really hasn't had that many shots to even really pressure them a lot.
Good opportunity there for FC Arizona on a give and go. Sean was able to extend that leg and come up with the save. One of the better chances to this point for FC Arizona. This time it'll be an easy save for Shaw as he comes out of his net a little bit to smother that one. We're seeing now the intensity of the offensive side for FC Arizona pick up in a big way. For the first 30 or so minutes, they were content to send maybe 3-4 players to that side of the pitch to try to force a turnover, to try to jar the ball free, but now we're seeing 7, 8 even at times players up on that side of the field really pressuring this Phoenix Rising defense.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, the one thing you have to be careful of, though, they just can't be impatient with it and get sloppy. I mean, I think they're starting to be more aggressive just because they're feeling a little bit desperate that they need to get something going. But, you know, if they don't handle it right, it could come back to bite them.
Certainly trying to make sure they play on that offensive side, but also are not prone to a counterattack or any quick offense the Rising could bring.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing we've kind of noticed too, there's been a lot, and it's gone out of bounds a lot in this game. I mean, credit to both teams. I mean, their defense has just been smothering and pushing things out. So, you know, you do have to wonder at some point which defense is going to give first.
And we're seeing both these teams' midfields playing pretty solid in terms of defense. We've seen a couple attacks from both of these sides, but really not a lot going on offensively. It's been a lot of sort of feeling each other out defensively, finding where they can penetrate, where those lanes are, and to this point, those lanes have not become apparent, and they've been pretty small for both teams.
Yeah, and like what you said, though, with Phoenix Rising, they've had a lot of opportunities. They've definitely won the possession game so far. for FC Arizona, I mean, they just haven't had many chances to actually go at it. But I mean, we're seeing here now they're starting to get a little something going though.
And as well, it seems FC Arizona, for the most part, when things like this happen and they get the ball back on their own side of the field, they tend to want to get it back quickly to the other side, as you see right there. A long goal kick comes away. Whereas for Phoenix Rising, a lot of the time when they get the ball on their own side of the field, they're content to take the possession and play a little bit slower pace. FC Arizona wants to use their speed and sort of quickly generate an offensive attack, and we're seeing maybe that strategy is not working out so well through these first nearly 40 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on that last play, Lucas Rollin, number 19, took a little bit of a shot there, and he was not happy about it. So again, like what we had said earlier, I mean, it's starting to get a little bit chippy here. Both teams getting a little bit impatient, a little bit more wanting to up the pace.
Still looking for the first goal of the game. Both of these teams looking to come away with a victory here on this Sunday evening at Campo Verde High School. We thank you for tuning in here on the FC Arizona YouTube channel, as you have been for the past few months. It's been a pleasure for us here to broadcast a lot of these games, both the UPSL teams, the Division I teams. To be bringing you this game tonight, Patrick Holleran and myself, Ari Wall, are in the booth for you tonight. Jack Bartlett is our sideline reporter.
And then one thing we've definitely seen a lot, Chris Grote has been giving the ball, but whenever it's happened, FC Arizona has decided to back off of him, give him a lot of room. Definitely an interesting choice. They really haven't, Phoenix Rising hasn't really done much with it, though. They kind of just let him give a little pass off to the side, usually.
Again, the Rising with it. Long pass comes through, and it's popped up in the air. FC Arizona gets to it first. Some pressure coming, though, by the Rising attackers. Slide tackle made, ball goes off. Throw in coming for FC Arizona.
Yeah, and this is one area we've seen a couple throw-ins for FC Arizona. They just really haven't been able to do much with it. They've been able to push it up the field a little bit, but Phoenix Rising, again right here, just applying the pressure and getting another turnover.
About 41 minutes into this game, you imagine there's probably 2 or so minutes of stoppage time. So we had the injury timeout that lasted a couple minutes or so earlier. So we'll probably see a couple minutes added to this first half. So maybe about 5 left to play before we go to halftime. Chance for both of these teams to break through and put the first goal of the game on the board.
Mm-hmm. You know, it was a great play right there, kicking him back out, and ooh.
Quick free kick taken. So FC Arizona does not want to waste any time here. Try to catch the Rising potentially sleeping defensively. Can't do so. There's a long pass. Finds nobody. Grote is the first one to it for the Rising.
And then there you see it again. I mean, FC Arizona is really, whenever Grote is handling the ball, they're giving him a ton of space. They're really not playing much strong defense on him.
Rising will work it out of their own side. Long pass comes ahead for Burns, who turns it over. Chance for FC Arizona the other way. Pass comes across. Edge of the box now. One move and a shot comes away off the left foot of Gallegos. Missed high and left of that right crossbar.
And Gallegos stayed on the ground there for a minute after that shot. It looks to be all right, but I mean, took a little bit of a hard fall there.
So we've seen 2 chances that missed target for FC Arizona. Marco Afonso had a shot off his left foot that missed high, and then Gallegos with that last chance missed high as well.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to Alfonso's again, I mean, he's had some shots. He just really, I mean, they haven't been shots that are necessarily open, though. I mean, they've really been tight coverage.
Ball comes off. Here it'll be a corner kick and a chance for FC Arizona. They haven't had many corner kicks in this game. This may, in fact, be their first. A good opportunity here with that ball. It'll be to the right of Tristan Shaw's net, as FC Arizona will try to set up this corner kick. As time winds down in the first half, ball comes in. Headed up, Marco Afonso with it. Edge of the box, fires a shot, blocked, didn't make it on net. Still right there, and another shot is blocked Back-to-back blocks by this Rising defense.
That was great defense from them, just clogging it up on the goal. And we even saw with Alfonso when he had the ball, he had 2 or 3 guys on him at a time. They've made an effort to really keep him contained and just not wanting him to even get any good look at it.
Angel Reyes had the second shot attempt that was blocked, so 2 clutch blocks by this Rising defense. Keep this game scoreless. Another corner kick will come. It'll be Garibaldi to take it. Corner kick is up, into the box. Missed the head of everybody there, and now a chance for the Rising on a counterattack, and a tackle made, it seemed like, on Vaughn. Referee will blow his whistle to stop this quick play. Rising trying to work quickly, though.
They're still letting him play a bit. I mean,
Rising still with it. They tried to quickly formulate a counterattack after those corner kicks. Have it now, edge of the area. Pass comes in. Still right there on the edge of that box. And now finally, FC Arizona will send a long clearance out.
And then right there, you're seeing them again. They're starting to get a bit more aggressive with it. They sense a bit of urgency here to get something before the half.
Whistle is blown. And I believe a free kick or a throw-in here for the Rising. 2 minutes left, as you can see on the scoreboard, of stoppage time in this first half. Pass comes across, Grote with it. Sends it over for Fisher on this left side. That's where he's been playing in this first half, on that left wing. Ball goes out of play. Fisher will go to retrieve it for the throw-in.
That's some success getting things going with Fisher on the side there, but I mean, otherwise they've kind of contained him in that way. FC Arizona really keeping him kind of comfortable there.
Long clearance goes all the way down and out. The Rising will slow it down on their own side once more.
FC Arizona giving them a lot of space to run.
As we approach potentially the final minute or so of this first half. Ball comes in, intended for Vaughn. Finds its way to the feet of FC Arizona. Spitting at midfield was Gallegos, lost possession. Now a long pass comes ahead and a chance the other way, and a great slide tackle made. Beautiful challenge there by Reyes to poke that ball free and force it off.
Yeah, with Reyes, that's just pure instinct right there, knowing exactly what to do to keep a goal from happening.
So it could be the last chance of this first half, as the Rising will get a throw in here in the corner.
Feels like, I mean, especially with it being in the half, I mean, they really need to score here. I mean, like the last game, FC Arizona can really come out of nowhere and just start scoring left and right.
Ball comes free for FC Arizona for a moment. They tried to send it across, couldn't do so. Now it'll be scooped up, and that'll do it for the first half. Thomas will end the half with the ball in his hands, and after 47 minutes of play in this opening first half, tied at 0, and considering how it went, Phoenix Rising, like you said, really looking for that goal at the end of the first half. They just couldn't come away with one.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's something that they're going to definitely regret going into halftime with it. They know this team very well in FC Arizona, and they know they can score when they need to. So definitely something that they're going to wonder at the end of this game if they can't pull it out. Is this something kind of look back on?
And our sideline reporter, Jack Bartlett, is down on the field awaiting an interview with, I believe, Andrew Chapman, the head coach for the Phoenix Rising. We'll hope to hear from him in just a moment after the first half tied at 0-0 right here on the FC Arizona YouTube channel. And we'll send it down to Jack, who's standing by with Andrew Chapman.
Even game, both teams having some good possession. We've got to make and create more chances for ourselves. Too many transitions in the attacking half of the field. Got to take a little bit more care in the final third. A little bit more individual brilliance, hopefully, can come out of that. But also just not creating too many turnovers, taking care of possession. But defensively been solid, really limited them to chances.
How do you create some of those transitions in the attacking third, as you mentioned?
Yeah, just being a little bit more patient at times, picking our moments of when to penetrate, and making sure that the quality's there on the individual side of things. Too many times been given the ball away in cheap areas and good areas for us, but not capitalizing on those moments.
And the last thing, how do you feel you have responded to a loss to this team earlier in the season?
Yeah, you know, for us, this is a different group, very young group of 06s and 07s on the field for us tonight. So a new challenge for a new group of players.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for that, Jack. Well, we're going to break here for this first half, tied at 0 after 47 minutes. We'll have the second half for you right here on the FC Arizona YouTube channel. FC Arizona, Phoenix Rising, you're watching it right here, and we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the campus of Campo Verde High School for tonight's UPSL matchup. We're tied at 0 after 45 minutes, getting ready to start the second half. Rising versus FC Arizona. I'm Ari Wall. Alongside me is Patrick Holleran. Down below, Jack Bartlett is our sideline reporter. You'll hear from him not too long from now as we get set to play this final second half. Overall, in that first half, neither team was able to generate a whole lot of offensive chances. Both teams had a few, but it did seem like for the most part, the Phoenix Rising held possession for most of that first half. What are you looking forward to in the second half, Patrick?
I think just a lot more scoring. I think both teams are getting a little antsy and hoping to get something going. And I mean, we're already seeing it right off the bat here. Phoenix Rising, an aggressive move downfield. So, I think that's going to be the biggest thing. It's just getting the tempo going and being more aggressive to hopefully get something on the board.
So the sides flip. The Rising go right to left. This one's booted up high in the air by the goaltender Thomas, who was perfect in that first half. Made a couple pretty solid saves as well. The Rising did have the few chances that they got, the shots on net that they got were pretty good chances, but Thomas was there, up to the task for all of them, able to keep the Rising off the board.
Yeah, no, we're definitely seeing it. And I mean, we're already seeing it again. Defense still strong, but definitely see the Rising with a lot more sense of urgency coming out, which I think is going to be big for them.
We heard from the head coach, Andrew Chapman, heading in, or I should say after that first half, talking about how they played in that first half and trying to generate a chance to put the first goal up on that scoreboard. The first goal of the game as a long cross finds its way all the way out and off the pitch, and a goal kick will come.
I know we've seen FC Arizona able to press it down a little bit, but I mean, kind of what we've seen in the first half. They're kind of just getting cluttered up and just really not having many open shots or a clean look at the goal.
So we're just getting underway here in this second half. Still no score. The Rising and the FC Arizona trying to come away with a victory here tonight. FC Arizona trying to improve to 7-1-1 on the season. And while we've got a moment, let's send it down to the third member of our team, Jack Bartlett. Jack.
Yeah, thanks, guys. One thing that Andrew Chapman talked about in the halftime report, possession and transitioning in the attacking third. He also mentioned that Phoenix Rising was playing really solid defensively, and we're seeing that in the first few minutes of the second half. It'll be interesting. It's also a tight match to see how these two teams end up in the final 45 minutes. I'll send it back to you guys in the booth.
Well, thanks for that, Jack. Yeah. Talk about the possession game, trying to come out with some added momentum. Seems like what they're doing right now. Rising, like we said, they seem to have possession for most of that first half. FC Arizona seemed to be on the back heel for a lot of it. A lot of the time, ball was just being played slowly on that Rising half, slowly looking for an open lane. FC Arizona was content to keep the midfield stationary and try to keep that where it was, as FC Arizona tries to take the free kick here.
Now we're seeing them again get a little bit chippy. I mean, this can be something to watch for.
Williams stands to the left of the ball here. Looks like he'll be the one to take it. See where he tries to play this ball as they're positioned on that far side. Ball comes in over the top, and it's headed high of the net. Good ball from Williams, but could not be headed in.
We've seen it so far. I mean, again, I think it's just overall, this is just going to be a very defensive game. And we just really haven't seen either side really give way yet. So, I think it's going to be the biggest thing is whichever defense gives in first.
And perhaps with how fast, at least on the FC Arizona things, how fast they like to move quickly out of their own end. Potentially it could be a counterattack that is the difference in this game.
What's interesting on that note is they've actually taken, if anything, a bit of a slower approach in both halves. It's been Phoenix Rising who's really been one up the pace.
And the Rising have certainly come out of the second half strong once again, like they did to start this game, as a long ball comes in onto the near side. It's played by Roland into the corner, a battle for possession. Forced out. Goal kick coming.
Yep, and this is where, again, they got to take advantage of this and make something happen out of it.
So the FC Arizona will work it out of their own end. The ball through. Rising with some pressure, trying to force it free on this defensive half for FC Arizona, and they do just that. Win possession back. Take it back to their own side.
And we're seeing here again, FC Arizona giving them a lot of space when it's getting closer to goal. They're really not pressing much.
Long ball comes ahead. Slowed down by a nice touch from Kobe. Here comes the ball in, looking for potentially Vaughn. Couldn't find him. FC Arizona with a good defensive effort. Switch it back to the right side of the pitch. Now back to the left as they look for an opening to start the attack. Reyes sends one through the midfield.
And that looked like that was close to being a handball right there. They've got to be a little bit more careful not to make mistakes like that.
Finds its way back to Reyes once again. This time, pass was unable to be controlled by Martinez. FC Arizona wins it back though, and the pass from Afonso just could not be kept in by Martinez. Tried a 1-2, but Martinez just unable to keep it in.
Yeah, no, he took a little bit of a hard fall there, but I mean, he got right back up, so.
So on the throw-in, the Rising will start it back ahead. Played up against this side, Afonso with it. Afonso still with it, now he's knocked off the ball. No foul. Afonso was looking for one, the referee said, "What are you looking for? There's no foul."
Yeah, he was, and I mean, he even saw it there. He's putting up a little bit of performance, slow to get up, but I mean, he appears to be good.
Ball goes off on the far side. Rising will retreat as it'll be an FC Arizona throw-in. They'll go back with it. And a poor touch, nearly an opportunity the other way. Instead, it's a foul coming on the Rising on that shove.
Damn, that's just completely unnecessary. I mean, all I had to do was press that up. I mean, this is the type of mistakes that defense has started to bend a little bit.
So off a free kick, see what the Rising, FC Arizona I should say, decide to do with it as they send 9 players forward. Here comes the ball in, easily headed away by Phoenix Rising, and FC Arizona is able to get there first though, as it was a nice run by Reyes to retreat to find the ball. Another ball comes in, played by Salama before it goes off. Rising will throw it back in.
Now, and you're starting to see it with the Rising definitely are the ones getting more man-to-man and really making them more physical than anything. I mean, FC Arizona just kind of seeing a lot of soft coverage so far this half.
Montgomery takes the throw in for the Rising. He sends one forward. It's easily headed away. Right back off. Reyes got his head to it first. So Montgomery again to take it from nearly the same spot. This time he goes backwards with it. FC Arizona with it right on the doorstep. Takes a shot and it's blocked. Another shot coming and he missed it.
Great defense right there by the Rising. I mean, they had that shot wide open for FC Arizona and they just clamped down.
Man, 2 chances off the turnover. Just a mistake. Bad passing in their own end off the throw-in. Afonso had an opportunity on the second look, and it looked like it might have even been destined to go on net, but the Rising were there, had a perfectly positioned defender to kick that ball away and keep this game scoreless for the Rising. That's just a mistake you cannot make in that sort of situation. Here comes another turnover. FC Arizona with some of their best chances here. Afonso plays one through, knocked away, and the Rising will be able to clear this one out.
You know, I think it's one thing you got to give them a lot of credit for. They've really had a good game plan on Alfonso, just limiting anything he can do. And even if he's got a shot, they're making it as hard as they possibly can. So I think it's the biggest thing why this has been a scoreless game.
Rising on the counterattack. Here's a shot. Score!
Good.
Zion Vaughn, who's been in the center of a lot of these rushes for the Rising, breaks the score, makes it 1-0 here in the 54th minute.
Yeah, good play by the Rising right there. Again, this is where in transition you just had to attack. And Zion taking advantage of it and helping get the goal in.
A long pass. Found the forward, Zion Vaughn. Number 95 in red, able to come away with the first goal of the game. Buries that one past Christopher Thomas, the goaltender for FC Arizona, and what seemed like FC Arizona was getting back to the way we've seen them play for a lot of this year, generating some offensive chances, some of their best of the game so far, having the ball where they want it on that side of the field. It instantly turns the other way. A great run by Vaughn on that right side through the middle, and then no touch necessary, plays it first time into the net to give the Rising the first goal of this game.
Yeah, and you have to wonder for FC Arizona if they maybe feel a little bit more urgency now to score, as the Rising are looking to make another run here.
With some momentum, the Rising come right back into the offensive half. Here comes a ball in, looking for Vaughn again over top his head. Kept in by FC Arizona as they'll work it back now. Long pass finds Afonso at midfield. Afonso on that right side, works it back to the middle, sends it all the way out to the left, and that's going to go off. Pass was intended on that left side. Looking for Williams, but he couldn't get it to him in time.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing right now, Phoenix Rising, you know, they got a 1-0 lead now. They got to maintain it. They got to keep adding to it. I mean, especially the way this team can go.
Here comes a ball in. Another opportunity for the Rising. Chipped ahead and just wide. Man, a great opportunity by Burns. Right idea, but he just missed it wide.
Yeah, that was going to be a gut wrencher right there. I mean, that was a perfect opportunity to make it a 2-0 hole. Unfortunately, they just couldn't capitalize on it.
Ball was played ahead for Luke Burns. And similarly to Vaughn, played it first time touch. Tried to chip it past Christopher Thomas, who was well out of his net, basically out of his box. But the shot just found its way to the right of that post. And so instead, we remain at a 1-0 game.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that I've been impressed with early on is that the Rising have really been, I mean, on defense, I've seen they've been a lot more aggressive, I think, a little bit in the first half, and they've been able to turn it into offense. I mean,
here comes FC Arizona on a counterattack the other way. Right outside the box, pass comes in, an opportunity on the short side, score! Luis Gallegos with an answer, a quick answer, to tie this game at 1 here in the 57th minute.
Yeah, he had a great angle on that and got that right in. And it looks like we actually have someone who's down right now.
Yeah, player down on the play. I believe it's Afonso.
Oof, that is not a good sign for them. I mean, obviously you never want to see an injury happen, but if there's anyone who's going to be injured, he is the absolute last person you want down.
Afonso was involved in that last play. It was a beautiful give and go, edge of the box. Ball came in, couple passes, and it found its way to the left foot of Luis Gallegos, who was able to get it off short side and bury that goal. Tristan Shaw got his right hand to it, but didn't get all of it. And so FC Arizona celebrates the goal, but also now holds their breath and hopes that Alfonso is all right.
And you're looking at him, looks like they're looking at his knee right there, so you wonder if maybe he got bopped by someone or just kind of, here we go, and he's going under his own power.
Able to stand up now and stretch out those legs. Now turns that walk into a jog and starts to head over to the bench.
No, you're seeing, though, he really can't put that much weight on it for that long. I mean, it's going to be something to watch here for it. I mean, yeah, they got the goal, but now down arguably their best player as he sprints down the sideline a little bit, just trying to get that leg going.
So we'll see if we see Afonso again in this game, and if so, for how long he's out for, as both teams start to walk their way towards the midfield point where they'll kick this one away for what has now become a brand new ball game. What was tied at 0 entering the second half. Rising put the first goal of the game on the board. FC Arizona with a quick answer. After taking a couple drinks of water, it looks like Marco Afonso will head over on this near side, right by the 50-yard line on this football field, and head back onto the field. So a great sign for FC Arizona, as they'll be with Afonso for the time being.
Yeah, it's going to be something to watch to kind of see. Still favoring that other leg a little bit more, so a little gimpy.
And look at that, right off the kickoff. I believe that was Burns who tried to surprise FC Arizona. Nearly did. Christopher Thomas was outside of his net, but a shot all the way off from kickoff missed high and wide. Pace picking up here in the second half as a long ball comes ahead. FC Arizona into the corner. Challenge made. Whistle blown, and it'll be a free kick taken quickly by the Rising.
I've liked what I've seen at FC Arizona. I mean, just even before that last goal, I mean, they've a lot more aggressive. And, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing for them. They got to start pushing the ball up the field like this.
Ball played on ahead. FC Arizona with it once more. Edge of the box. Fight for possession, and unable to control it was Williams.
Oh.
And a challenge made. Ball goes off. Williams right there with a big challenge.
You know, you could hear that one. That was a hard hit.
It'll stay with the Rising on a throw-in. Ball comes ahead. Burns plays it out of play. Last touched by FC Arizona, they'll say, and so throw-in will come for the Rising once more.
And you're kind of seeing in these past couple of plays, the officials are letting them play. I mean, they're letting them get chippy with each other, so makes for a good game, I'll say that.
As we await the new ball, finds its way onto the field, and so gets set for the throw-in here.
Looks like our own Jack is assisting them with that.
Jack Bartlett, our sideline reporter, down there behind the Rising bench. As FC Arizona starts back up, left to right, with some space out right for Delgado. Pass comes back, and now all the way back it goes for Shaw. Shaw plays it out to his left. This is what we saw a lot in the first half. Slow pace in this side of the field for the Rising before they turn it up at midfield and turn on the attack.
Yeah, and I think they kind of got to change that. I mean, this kind of like ended some drives from them earlier, so I think they got to keep out this quicker attack. That's really what helped them get that goal.
The Rising forcing some errant passes here, unable to get the full turnover out of it. Get a whistle, and it'll be FC Arizona ball on a throw-in. FC Arizona continuing to keep up that pace on those attackers, the midfielders, trying to force turnovers on this defensive side of the pitch.
Yeah, we're seeing right there Luke Burns, the little bit of a wimp right there, something that might be a factor in this game.
Ball finds Burns now as he works it through the midfield, pass out to his left. We saw Burns, I believe, go off for a brief moment, but then come right back on after an injury sequence earlier in this game.
Yeah, and it looked like that was a lower body with him, so you wonder maybe if he got bumped again or it's starting to cramp up.
Going down was Orduño on that last challenge. He's quickly back up to his feet before a goal kick comes here from Thomas. So FC Arizona will walk its way down, set themselves up for this goal kick opportunity. As Thomas motions the whole team forward, boots it all the way ahead.
I mean, again, you still can't give enough credit to Thomas. He's been outstanding tonight. I mean, he's a big reason why this game is only 1-1.
Played on ahead for Afonso, who's back on the pitch, as we said. Was able to get up after the injury that occurred at about the same time as Gallegos' goal. He was on the field immediately following the Gallegos game-tying goal. It happened about 7 or so minutes ago. Ball comes back out of the pitch, and the Rising will get a throw-in.
I know this is where, again, I mean, this is where they can push the pace a little bit and get things going. They give it back, though.
Long pass is sent all the way high in the air. Missed everybody. Takes a bounce.
That might have been the highest pass we've said so far in the game.
And FC Arizona is able to work it back in. On that left wing, ball comes in, deflected. FC Arizona still with it. Gallegos plays it across. Long pass intended on that far side. Orduño was looking to switch it up, but could not find his open man. Two players collide, go up. Now a pass comes in. Rising again, get their foot to it, deflecting these crosses. Afonso. Right by that far sideline.
You know, looks like that was Lucas Rowland who collided with him, a little bit slow to get up.
Ball goes off, so it'll be a corner. Chance for FC Arizona on this corner kick.
You know, we've seen ever since they made that first goal, I mean, FC Arizona has definitely had a little bit more of a pep in their step now. You know, I mean, that's all it takes sometimes, just one goal to get it going, and all of a sudden you have all the confidence in the world.
So kick coming on that far side. Is there some action right by the net? Two players standing there. Here comes the corner. Kick is away and into the box. A couple players take swings at it. Can't get there. Ball comes free and a shot is blocked. Looked like FC Arizona was offsides either way. It was a great block by Shaw. Did not matter. Player was offsides.
Good recognition by Shaw there, regardless of what the penalty is.
Looks like we may see our first substitution of the game as Guzman is standing at midfield for the Rising, waiting to come on. We haven't seen the referees officially signal him now. We'll see a player jogging off for the Rising. Guzman will come on to replace in the 66th minute. So we'll see our first action from Joe Luis Guzman as heading to the bench is Lucas Rowland.
Yeah, no, I mean, you definitely saw Rowland. He looks a little bit gassed out there.
Rowland contributed to a lot of the good defense in this game. Even though a forward, he was back defensively on a lot of plays. He'll take a drink of water down on the bench as FC Arizona will start things forward on their own side.
Now, I think that was Braxton Montgomery right there. He was near sideline there trying to get that ball back in.
Throw in from Orduño for FC Arizona. Looking for Afonso. He had it for a moment, then it was knocked away. And Shaw will play it. Sky one up once more.
Another great boot by Shaw. I mean, he's got a cannon right there.
Afonso trying to force it free. Can't do so. Rising come away with a counterattack quickly the other way. With some speed and a miscommunication there. Looking on that right side, Delgado was looking to play it for Montgomery. Montgomery stopped his run and Delgado played the pass anyway.
You know, Delgado's got to slow that down. He had Montgomery open there for a shot. And now it looks like, do we have a timeout?
We're going to get a substitution here for FC Arizona, as Parker Orr will come on here in the 68th minute. So we'll see our first action from Orr in this game. He comes on to replace Jordan Figueroa. And we'll hear once more from Jack Bartlett, who's standing down by the bench. Jack Bartlett, take it away. Well, we'll hear from Jack in just a moment.
Shoot, we got a little action going on here.
Things starting to heat up on the pitch right now. Well, we'll hear from Jack perhaps after this free kick in just a moment as Lucas Burns is getting set to take it. Some players colliding there, a challenge made. And now an opportunity for the Rising with Burns to take this free kick. So 3 men for FC Arizona will make the wall while the rest line up to the left. Here's the free kick opportunity. Burns sends one in, missed everybody's head on that first attempt, and it goes out of play. Opportunity wasted for the Rising, and so that will give us a chance to hear from Jack Bartlett. Jack, go for it.
Thanks, guys. Zion Vaughn, the team's Phoenix Rising's leading goal scorer and the sole goal scorer for Rising tonight, has been sidelined for the rest of the game. He has been taped up with ice on his left leg. He should be fine for the rest of the season, but for now, he is no longer on the pitch for the Rising. It could be a tough blow as the two teams are tied with only 20 minutes left to go. Other than that, it's still very competitive, and I'll send it back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Jack. Yeah, big loss indeed. Zion Vaughn, the goal scorer for the Rising in this game. He's made a big impact for them so far, so without him, the Rising will look elsewhere for these offensive chances to try to win this ball game here tonight.
Yeah, it's a tough blow for them. He gave them a bit more size, too, so, I think now you're definitely going to have to see some guys who maybe not normally play as much step up.
FC Arizona back the other way. Long pass ahead. Cannot be kept in on that left side by Reyes. Pass just a little bit too heavy, so ball goes off.
Yeah, you have to wonder maybe Vaughn was in that little scuffle we saw earlier that made had him out for the game, or at least out for right now.
So Lucas Rowland back on the field as he comes back on to replace Montgomery, who takes a rest.
Looks like Montgomery's a little bit frustrated talking to coach right there.
Yeah, we can see challenge made there. Ball comes free. FC Arizona tried to poke it away. Rising will start it the other way with some speed.
We saw there Rollin took a shot right there.
Here comes a nice ball into that left side. Chance to cross it in right outside the box, and FC Arizona get their feet to it first to clear that one away. Still with space, Kobe has it. Sends one out left for Rowland. Back it comes. Back defensively now. The Rising slow it down. Spinning and now sending one back for Grote.
I mean, this is what we saw with them. Oh, big play coming right here.
Turnover and a chance the other way for FC Arizona, but a great slide to knock that one away. Here's a shot. Score!
Oh, and it looks like he got someone down again for Phoenix Rising. But, I mean, that was a great play. I mean,
what a shot. FC Arizona able to take the 2-1 lead off the turnover. The first shot, FC Arizona had an opportunity. The Rising came in defensively to make the slide tackle to force it away. And then on the second effort, the long shot in, finds the back of the net, and FC Arizona is able to take a 2-1 lead.
And it looks like we see here Grote definitely a little bit sore and frustrated at the referees for not calling it. I mean, he definitely took a shot right there on that last goal.
And who else but Marco Afonso to find the back of the net as well. We talked about him in the beginning of the game. We talked about him several times throughout the game. He was someone who went down with what looked like potential injury concern earlier, but he was able to remain in the game, and he comes up there with a beautiful finish, his 11th goal of the season, to give FC Arizona the lead here in this final 25 or so minutes of regulation.
Yeah,
Shot comes in weakly, handled easily by Shaw.
Yeah, now Alfonso, he's just a huge difference maker. I mean, I feel like this game for him, he's almost like a three-point shooter in basketball. He'll take his shots, but once he gets it going, it's hard to slow him down.
Rising come in with speed and tripped up, and we'll see a booking here. Yellow card being assessed to the FC Arizona defender. That was Reyes on the challenge. Picks up a yellow on that defensive effort.
No, and I mean, again, these are the type of mistakes they can't afford to make, especially against this team that they know all too well. Guys like Alfonso will take advantage and get big shots in when they can. Excuse me, with Phoenix Rising, excuse me.
Rising will elect to go backwards on the free kick before then, starting forward. Burns spins with it, tries to work it through the defensive line, but he can't. And now a counterattack ensues once more for FC Arizona, but a pass just too far for Alfonso. Looking on that left wing.
Yeah, it looks like he just put a little too much power on it. I mean, he had the opening, though.
So, the Rising, still a lot of time to put up the second goal of the game. Their second goal, I should say, as FC Arizona holds the 2-1 lead at this point. Still a lot of time, but you'll probably see at some point they'll ramp up the pace and try to work with a little more sense of urgency. They have the speed to do so. As they show it off here with a long pass ahead. And well defended on that right wing, and now ball finds its way underneath Reyes, who was running on that right side, holding off the Rising attackers. FC Arizona is able to get rid of that opportunity. Ball's turned over right by the net, and it's just missed wide. Wow, what a chance on the turnover. And FC Arizona lucky to still have a 1-goal lead. Wow.
That is a backbreaker right there. I mean, he had a wide open shot and just couldn't get it in. Man, I mean, these are going to be these types of things that they're going to look back on, just wish they had back. I mean,
opportunity right on the doorstep for FC Arizona, or sorry, for the Rising. FC Arizona turned it over off the goal kick. And the Rising, yeah, like you said, I mean, it was really just an empty net, could not convert. Wasn't even blocked as they got a goal kick after it, so just missed the net on that short side.
You know, and right there, Cameron Kobe, right there taking a bit of a fall and clearly not happy about it.
So the Rising will get set for a free kick. Play it off to the left before getting it back. Chappell has it. Plays one forward before Ramirez spins back and forces it backwards. At midfield, long pass comes forward. Roland pops it up. Ramirez sends one all the way down to the left side, and it's unable to be held in by Guzman. Goes out of play. FC Arizona will get a throw-in.
No, I mean, you're looking at it with the Rising right now. I mean, this is where they're getting stagnant. You have to be a little bit worried. I mean, it's only a 1-score game, but I mean, you know, especially with this team in FC Arizona, 1-score game can quickly turn into a multi-score game in a matter of seconds.
Substitution on for FC Arizona as Jonathan Cuero Batalla comes on. And for Phoenix Rising, Hassan Alazawi enters the game as well. So in the 77th minute, we see a sub for both teams, with the Rising still trying to come back in this game. FC Arizona holding on to that 2-1 lead. We were scoreless after the first 45. The Rising scored first, making it 1-0 before 2 unanswered goals by FC Arizona. One by Luis Gallegos, the second by Marco Afonso. That's where we sit right now. And the lone goal scorer for the Rising, Zion Vaughn, is out for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and I mean, this is where they miss him right now. He just has the ability to help get things going a little bit. So, I mean, someone's got to step up and replace him. But, ooh, that was a great shot right there by FC Arizona.
Long pass ahead. Rising player goes down hard and grabs at that right leg while play continues. And some sportsmanship there. FC Arizona right there to help out on that right leg.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see it. This is exactly what sports are about, you know. Good competitive game. Both teams, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all competitive, but, you know, have respect for one another and willing to help an injured player out.
Looked like it might have been Carlos Delgado there for the Rising, who's down and being stretched out.
You know, it looks like he's just cramping. I don't really think he got, I mean, he took a little tumble, but I don't really think he got hit. But, you know.
Yeah, it looked like probably a cramp, and that's why FC Arizona, that player was tough to tell from our vantage point who that was, but either way was right there to be able to stretch it out quickly. And yeah, like you said, I mean, you love to see that. These teams helping each other out. Things got chippy earlier in the game, but still, That's something that will remain at all times, you hope, that sportsmanship, level of respect, willing to help each other out.
Yeah, and it looks like that was Cameron Colby right there, actually, who was being stretched out. Surprised the trainers didn't at least take a look at him.
Colby immediately able to play the ball back as the Rising come back right outside the box. It's popped up and headed away by FC Arizona before a long clearance is sent out past midfield, and a counterattack starts for FC Arizona. Marco Afonso on that right wing is knocked off the ball, takes a tumble.
I don't know, looks like Alfonso's down again, slow to get up.
Making that run on that right side. He's back on his feet and joins the play as the Rising start one forward through the midfield and knocked off the ball. FC Arizona comes away with it for the moment. Long pass comes ahead on that left wing. Flores working in. Flores on that left foot takes a shot and it's stopped. Beautiful save by Shaw.
Good play by Shaw right there. They're keeping him from it.
Flores had a one-on-one chance with the keeper there as the ball goes out of play. Right by the FC Arizona bench. Flores was the one with the chance, and Shaw comes up with a big save to keep this a one-goal game with 10 minutes left to go in regulation time.
Oh, another. Looks like that was number 22 there. That was Luke Burns. Get into it. Appears to be, I think it was number 0 on the other team, if I read that right.
Roland sends one back for Ramirez, who sends one out left. Pass comes in, stopped, and out of play it goes. And down on that effort is Tariq Salama, who is down on his back right now, being looked after by the ref and some teammates on both sides.
Helping him get up here. Definitely hope he's okay.
He returns to his feet, walks slowly forward as FC Arizona will get set for a free kick here on their side of the pitch. Joining the play as well, Georgie Chavez onto the field, a new sub for FC Arizona.
Yeah, that was a great play right there.
Ordonio with the play.
Number 17.
Here come the Rising back out of their own end. Sense of urgency probably starting to creep into their minds. 82nd minute in this game, down by a goal. Looking to try to draw or potentially win this game still. With time ticking down. Fight for possession, Rising win it.
I think even for them, a draw for them would be a huge victory. Not even just for record purposes, just to be able to beat this team that beat them 7-1. Just to show that they can go toe-to-toe with anyone.
Spinning with it there is Roland, who passes one out left. Roland gets it back. Tries to work it in, gets it back on his foot before he's tripped up.
Look like, I don't know if Roland actually tripped himself up. Oh, no. Looks like he might be cramping a little bit.
Foul is assessed on that challenge by Reyes, I believe, and so Roland happened just outside the box, even though Roland might be pleading the case that it was inside the box. Referee is saying it was not, and so
I'm going to see him. He's jogging gingerly. I mean, a lot of guys taking hits here in the second half.
Free kick will come. Luke Burns to take it right by that sideline. A great opportunity here for the Rising to try to even the score in this one as we approach the 84th minute.
Now, I think now, to your point earlier, I mean, the Rising, that sense of urgency has to be increasing as more time passes. I mean, you only have so many shots at this. I mean, got to take advantage of it when they're open.
So here's Burns to take it. Waves the signal, now delivers the ball in, off the heads. FC Arizona gets there first, and they're able to get this one out of harm's way with a long clearance and a counterattack the other way with a lot of space on the left side. And tripped up there is Flores as Shaw comes all the way out of his net to make the play.
I'm surprised they didn't call that one there. I mean, that was a danger. Flores hit the deck quick.
Flores had a full head of steam and a slide tackle by the goaltender Shaw. A legal one, as deemed by the referees. Able to avoid giving up a third goal, which may have put the game away at the time. Instead, still a chance for the Phoenix Rising to come back, put a goal on the board, and even the score.
We've seen it forward. Both offenses have kind of cooled off a little bit. They've had their chances, but once again, surprisingly defensive game.
Thomas sends a ball all the way into midfield, where it's played first by the Rising. All the way back it goes. Shaw out of his net to play it. Not a lot of time to stay back on their own end here for the Rising.
No, I mean, it's concerning. I mean, they're kind of just going through the motions a little bit here. I mean, if they want to try to tie this thing, they got to be a lot more aggressive.
Ball comes in.
And just as I say it, what did they do?
Salama was able to head that one out of harm's way. But a throw-in will come here for the Rising as it's taken by Burns. Done so quickly. Into the center it goes. Londono sends one backward for Ramirez. Off to his left it goes.
Now Londono has been a factor for the Rising tonight. I mean, he's just been in a lot of good passing situations.
Delgado sends one out to the right. And this one finds its way out of play. Another throw in here. Delgado takes it quickly, sends it back for Burns.
It's a risky
Sorry,
move.
Shaw.
It's a risky move to have Shaw out that far. I mean, if they get that turnover quick, I mean, that's an easy goal.
Right at midfield. It'll find its way back to the feet of Carlos Delgado. For the Rising. Looking to play one through. Finds an open man on the far side. Looking to get it to him, and he's deemed offsides.
Unfortunate, he had a good look at the goal right there, just got nullified.
So the 87th minute, not a lot left to go in regulation time. You can imagine not a lot of sense of urgency for Thomas as he slowly places the ball down. Now we'll kick it away.
Now looks like they're having Shaw back up there now.
This one's popped free the other way. FC Arizona will take it back in their own side. Pass comes ahead for Afonso. Afonso in quickly here.
He's got open space now.
Looking for the dagger in this one. Afonso still dribbling with it. Could not get a shot away. Another shot attempt comes off the foot of Flores, but it was blocked.
I have to wonder for FC Arizona. I mean, obviously they want the one last goal, but I mean, at this point, they might just trying to chew the clock out too.
Comes free for Afonso, who is tackled, and he hits the ground hard, grabbing at the leg.
Looks like it's that same leg that he got hit on before.
So in the 88th minute, Afonso down on the ground. He's lifted up by Flores with some help from the referee. So Flores and Afonso on either side of the ball here. We'll see who takes it. The left-footed Afonso, right-footed Flores.
Surprised he's still in the game considering they're up 2-1. There's not much time left. Do you think you just want to rest him for next week?
So a chance to potentially put this game away here. Up by a goal, trying to make it 2. We'll see who takes it. Afonso takes the shot. Now net, and a rebound chance just missed wide. Right there on the doorstep, and FC Arizona could not bury it home. Just missing that one to the left of net.
Even with the missed goal there, it just shows Alfonso just how much pressure, and I mean, just how skilled he is. I mean, so close to going in.
Right there on the doorstep, it looked like it was Cade Williams. Try to put that one home. So as we approach the 90th minute in this one, as the Rising will try to put that new ball down quickly, Shaw with a sense of urgency now. Not a lot of time to generate an attack here. Pass comes ahead and played there on the near side before it's out of play. Throw in here coming for FC Arizona.
Yeah, it just seemed like for the Rising, I mean, for the longest time, like, they just really weren't getting much in the first half on offense. And then in the second half, they came out a lot aggressive and then just cooled off a lot. And, I mean, you know, in FC Arizona, I mean, once they got going, I mean, they just really didn't let go of the rope.
So we've officially hit the 90th minute in this one. FC Arizona gets ready to take the throw in. Comes free for Afonso. If they can keep the ball on this side of the field, they'll secure the victory. That looks like what they're trying to do here for the rest of the way as this pass comes free. Opportunity the other way for FC Arizona. Now battle for it. Ball turned over and a shot comes up high of the crossbar. Parker Orr forced the turnover. Couldn't get the shot on net.
Yeah, I mean, even though they're not going in, I mean, the fact is they're getting the shots up now late in the game.
Whistle and a foul on that one. FC Arizona takes the foul. Rising take the free kick quickly. Working through midfield. Forced backwards, though, by this defensive midfield that's been very solid this game for FC Arizona.
You know, I mean, Rising's offense right now is just all out of sorts. I mean, they're just trying to get something going.
Shaw will come out of his net to play it forward before it's sent back out to the left. Now at midfield, backward it goes once more. They'll reverse, come back towards this near side. Delgado with it. Ball comes into the left. Off the foot of Rising attackers, and a chance here quickly for the Rising. Right outside the box, shot comes in, went off the backside, it looked like, of Burns, before it finds its way all the way back out and out of harm's way. Headed away by FC Arizona. Popped up in the air, Rising battle for it. Popped up once more.
Great defense by FC Arizona. They've been stout all night.
And now the Rising try to work it back in deep as one's sent in, but nobody there for the Rising. And FC Arizona content to let it find its way off.
Now as this clock ticks more and more, I mean, it's looking like FC Arizona has this thing sealed up the way their defense is played.
Throw in comes for Orduño. He sends one forward. Kept in by the Rising for now. Ball finds its way back off. Throw in will be awarded to FC Arizona as we approach the 93rd minute in this one. Another throw in. And that's going to do it.
You know, we see Zion already walking out. Not even going on the field there. I mean, yeah, you can tell he's definitely in some pain still.
So FC Arizona comes away with the victory in this one. 2-1 the final. Goals for FC Arizona. The first one by Gallegos, the second by Afonso. The lone goal for the Rising was credited to Zion Vaughn. So 3 goals in this one total. 2-1 the final. FC Arizona comes away with the victory. And for FC Arizona, 2-0 against this team and 7-1-1 on the season as they continue to try to make that push towards the playoffs. A win tonight certainly helps that case, and it wasn't a dominating win, perhaps like you would have imagined after the 7-1 victory against the Rising, but still, a win's a win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's all that matters for them. And I mean, I think the one thing that they can take from this, as good as their offense has been over the course of the season, especially Alfonso, I mean, give a lot of credit for how they played on defense tonight. I mean, they were just stout and just really keeping Phoenix Rising just kind of contained throughout the entire game. So, you know, in that respect, you definitely have to feel good about it. I mean, you know, as they say, defense wins championships, and I think that applies in all sports. So definitely something that they can carry over into the next game.
And credit to Christopher Thomas. He was good in net for FC Arizona. Tristan Shaw, I should say, was good for the Rising as well, but ultimately it was Thomas who was better, allowing just the 1 goal and able to secure the 2-1 victory in this one. And so FC Arizona just one more game left on the calendar before they'll finish up the 2023 regular season, and they'll able to take the 3-2 victory in this game. And so a dominant performance, able to come away with the win. And we've got Jack Bartlett, who's standing down on the field, who we hope to hear from in just a few moments. He looks like he's got a player on this FC Arizona team, so we'll send it down to Jack and we'll hear from him after this 2-1 victory.
About scoring, just like simple questions. I'm here with Luis, able to score a goal. How does it feel to help put your team ahead with the goal?
It feels pretty good, actually. It's kind of been a long time coming. So I've been with FC Arizona since February of this year, and it's been a mission. That's the first one. So hopefully after this, more keep coming. But I'm just glad it was we were able to get the tie with that, and then get the win off of that momentum from that first goal.
Able to squeak a 2-1 win after trailing in the second half 2-1. What was the momentum shift to put you guys ahead 2-1 and the final going?
Nothing. We just try to keep our composure. They scored, obviously they went up 1-0. And then I remember when we were going up, they always used to say next 5 minutes after they score. So a game could either go up or you could go like sideways, So I'm glad we were able to get the tie. And then from there, we just rode the momentum and we were able to get that 2-1,
As you mentioned, the first goal with FC Arizona is. Do you have sort of a celebration now that the first one's over with?
I had a couple celebrations in mind, actually, but you know what? I think I just wipe myself off of the the no goal drought, wipe it off, and then we just move on. It was a tie. It was tying goal, so nothing yet to celebrate about. Crazy, but for sure I got something for the next goal. Hopefully,
And the last question: you were able to tie the game, as you've mentioned a few times. How did that boost the team to get a second goal and put you guys over the head with a win?
Well, like I said, either when you go up or when you go down, next 5 minutes are always crucial. So we got a lot of mature heads on the team, and everybody was able to just react quick, and then we got that tying goal, and then it was just off of that we just kept the momentum going basically.
Well, thank you and congrats on the win.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for that, Jack, and thanks to Luis Gallegos for taking the time to speak with us after the game. Congratulations to him on getting his first goal with FC Arizona, and a good one at that. It's tying the game at the time 1-1 before they were able to come away with the 2-1 victory. So your final score in this one, 2-1, FC Arizona able to come away with the victory. So for everybody here behind the scenes making this thing work, for John Kinney, our director, for all of our camera people behind the scenes, for Patrick Holleran up here in the booth, and for Jack Bartlett, who you just heard from down below on the sideline, I'm Ari Walsh.